Let's prepare on fundamental concepts. So in this chapter we are going to see the basic concepts of surveying. So first, the objective of surveying. So what is the objective to study this surveying means? It is to determine the relative positions of various points on or above or below the surface of the earth. So we will be finding the positions, but relative positions, this is very important, because relative positions means with respect to some already known data only we will be plotting that position. And then to mark the positions of proposed structure on ground, to determine the area, volume and other related quantities. So this is why we are going to study this surveying. And the next thing is the shape of the earth is an oblate spheroid. So this is you should be known of, and the radius of the earth is 6370 kilometer. And then the polar axis and equatorial axis. So this both we know, no? So the vertical will be your polar axis and the horizontal will be your equatorial axis. So the length of that axis is 12713.168 kilometer and equatorial is 12756.602 kilometer. So which is about 43.43 kilometer shorter, so nearly 0.34%. So this they may ask in the objective exams. So why we saw about this shape of the earth and everything means, when you are considering the curvature of the earth and doing the surveying means, we call that survey as a geodetic surveying, and in the other case we call it as the plane surveying. So for a shorter area, that is the area less than 250 kilometers square, we can do the plane surveying, so which we normally do in our field. And then when the difference between an arc, so this both the next 2 points are the conditions or where to apply this plane surveying. Okay, so when the difference between an arc distance of 18.2 kilometer on the surface of the earth and the corresponding chord distance, so the chord we are actually taking in that arc, no? So the difference, if it is about 10 mm means we can go for plane surveying. And the next condition is when the difference between the sum of angles in the plane triangle. So plane triangle means normally we will be drawing a spherical triangle, that one, and the another one is spherical triangle. So in spherical triangle the edges will be somewhat spherical in shape. So if it is the difference between the sum of the angles is, if it is only 1 second means, then you can go for this plane surveying, and this is also with an area of 195 kilometers square. So these are not so important, just know those values, they may ask you in the questions. The next thing is the geodetic surveying. So this is where we consider the shape of the earth, and curved lines and spherical triangles will be drawn here, and this will be used for the large scale work with high degree of precision, because when you consider the flat surface and go for plane surveying, the precision, the accuracy will be lesser only. So when you are doing a large scale work, you should go for this geodetic surveying. The next thing is classification. So the classification of surveying is based on two categories. So the first one is based on the function. So in this we will be seeing one by one. The first one is control surveying. So where the horizontal and vertical points or the positions of widely spaced control points using geodetic surveying. So it's just like grids they will be drawing and doing the surveying. So this is normally done by Survey of India. And then the second one is topographic survey. So topographic means itself we know that it is just the features, geological features of the land. So here the rivers, hills, lakes and these features are plotted and studied. So this is what called as topographical survey. And the third one is cadastral survey. So here the boundaries are mainly considered. So this survey is normally done by the revenue engineers to plot the boundaries of any area. And then the mine survey. So mine means it's underground. So underground works like mines, shafts, when you excavate pits and all, you have to go for this mine survey. And then the engineering survey. So here the road, railways, water supply systems and all, we go for this engineering survey. Hydrographic survey, it's water bodies. So when you go for channel depth determination, you go for this. Thank you and keep watching. Astronomic survey, that is latitude, longitude and azimuth calculations and all, it's astronomical. And geological, it's inside Earth's crust. So when you go deeper than the ground, so that survey you call it as geological survey. So these 8 types are based on the classification based on the functions. The next classification we are going to see is based on instrument. So these will be asked in the questions because the purpose will be given and what type of surveying is this, like that they'll be asking. Study it in detail. So the next thing is based on instrument. The first one is chain survey. So we use chains for doing this. So it is only linear measurement can be taken from the chains. Chain length will be of different sizes, 20 meter, 30 meters, like that. So based on that only linear measurements can be taken, and this is not very high accuracy. And then the compass survey, so we use compass here. So here we can use chains and compass so that you can calculate both linear and angular measurements. So this is precise than chain survey. And then leveling. So leveling is the difference in elevation. So generally in hills and all, when you do survey, you go for this leveling surface surveying, and this is precise than compass surveying. And the plane table survey, this is plotting and taking measurements simultaneously. So we have seen all these instruments now. So we'll be taking a plane table and we'll be fixing a paper, and you can plot the points to the ground, or you can plot the point in the paper from the ground. So this is actually very less accurate. So if you see these 4 means plane table will be very less accurate, and then chain survey, and then compass survey, and then leveling survey. So I am telling in the increasing order, and the most accurate thing is the theodolite survey. So this accuracy level you have to know of, because they may ask you the increasing order of accuracy of the instruments, like that they may ask. Okay. And then theodolite survey, so this is very precise for horizontal and also vertical angles, because we take both angles here, we just rotate the theodolites to take horizontal and also vertical angles. So here the baselines are located using triangulation. So triangulation also we will be studying already. So using the horizontal angles we will be plotting, and we will be finding the triangulation points, and the linear measurements also could be taken off. And then tachyometric surveying, the theodolite with stadia diaphragm having 2 horizontal crosshairs. So this is also an extra addition to a theodolite, there will be crosshairs present. So with that we will be taking the measurements. So that is only called as tachyometry. And then the photogrammetry, so it is nothing but using photographs. It is used in areas difficult to reach. So where the areas it's difficult to do survey, they'll be taking the photographs from the top view using any aircrafts, and that with that photographs they'll be doing the surveying. So that is what called as photogrammetry. And then EDM, so it is nothing but the measurement device, electronic device only. So it is EDM, instruments are used just to calculate the length and angles and everything. And then the principles of surveying. So these 2 points are very important in this surveying. The main principles of surveying is working from whole to part. So what is this whole to part means? When you are having a larger area, you should start from the outer side and you have to end to the inner side. Why means, if you start from the inner side means there will be some error occurring. So normally whatever we do, error will be occurring when we do it manually. Okay, so when you do it from inner side and when you expand it, the errors will be increasing. So to minimize this error, we have to always do from whole to part, that is from the bigger size to the smaller size, so that the error could be minimized here. And then locating points from 2 reference points. So this is also another principle. So as I told you, the first line itself, the relating positions, that is very important, because in survey we do not point, or we do not fix a point directly. We always do it with the reference point, that is we'll be having a datum already, or that is the reduced level we know, no? So the reduced level of any point we'll be knowing. So with reference to that only we'll be plotting the points in the surveying. So always we'll be locating the points with reference of any 2 points. So these are the principles of surveying. Thank you, and keep watching for the next lecture on scale and errors.